Baseballs this year are traveling shorter than they have in any of the past 9 seasons. Balls are traveling 4 feet shorter on average. League-wide slugging hasn't been this low since 2022. Andrew McCutcheon of the Pirates says the balls are dead and that someone at MLB even admitted it to him. Brent Rooker says he's noticed multiple balls caught at the wall he felt should have been homers. Aaron Judge hit this ball 110 miles per hour at a 24-degree launch angle. Last year, balls hit at this speed and angle had an average distance of 424 feet. They were homers 99.7% of the time. This one was caught at the wall. Even MLB themselves have confirmed that something is different about the ball. However, according to MLB, this is not on purpose. They admitted the balls are not going as far as they used to, and they can't do anything to fix it. This has been pissing off players for about a decade, actually. In 2019, Justin Verlander came out, quote, "Major League Baseball's turning this game into a joke. They own the fucking company. Manfred said we want more offense. All of a sudden, he comes in, the balls are juiced. It's not a coincidence. We're not idiots." What is he referring to? 2017, MLB bought Rawlings, that's the company that makes the baseballs, and this was just 2 years after Rob Manfred took over commissioner. Offense was way down in 2015. Manfred took over and was open, said it publicly, "I want to increase offense." What happened? From 2014 to 2017, home runs were up 46%. How does that happen? How did the home runs go up 46%, Mitchell?
Was it Joey?
It was probably the balls. Everyone thought it was the balls. Dallas Keuchel came out, said the balls were juiced. Jake Arrieta thought the balls were juiced. And in 2017, they had an MLB record for home runs in a season. So more home runs were hit in 2017 than any year in baseball before that. More than the steroid era. Study found that in 2017, the lace thickness of the ball was on average 9% thicker than balls in 2014. So that led to a 46% increase in home runs, 9% increase in lace thickness. That's how small of a change that is. So what did the MLB do? Would you do, Jack? The laces are too thick.
I'd make them thinner.
You gotta thin the laces, my man. So that's what they did. I'm gonna decrease the laces. MLB decreases the lace thickness, which decreased the height of the laces. Guess what? Juiced them even more. Fuck. That made the ball more aerodynamic. Accidentally made the ball even more juice. In 2019, that was the most juice the ball ever got. 10 players hit 40 home runs in 2019. 53 players hit 30 or more home runs. You want to know some players who hit 30 home runs that year? Paul DeYoung, Yuli Gurriel, Rougned Odor, Randall Gritchett had 30 plus. Eddie Rosario had 30 plus. Cole Calhoun, 30 plus. Austin Meadows, 30 plus. 4 out of the top 5 team home run seasons in history happened in 2019. Only 2 seasons ever featured a league-wide slugging percentage higher was in 2000, that was during the steroid era, and in 1894, that was before World War I, we will not count it. But when asked, Rob Manfred said, quote, "I know with absolute certainty the baseballs are within specified limits." And this is kind of the crux of the situation when everyone says the balls are juiced and whatnot. So if you take 2 MLB baseballs, they could both be under regulation. All the specs, everything's great, everything's legal. These are 2 regulation baseballs. One could go 50 feet further than the other, and they're both regulation because no 2 baseballs are the same, guys. They're all handmade, and they're all using ingredients from all over the world. They get the cows from Pennsylvania. They get the cowhide. They produce that in Tennessee. They get the wool from New Zealand. They get the yarn woven in Massachusetts. The rubber's from Mississippi, and the mud is from a secret river in New Jersey. Can't you see that would be a problem to keep everything the same? I mean, if 9% lace thickness is the difference between a 46 increase in home runs, let's say one year the cows are a little cold. Their hair doesn't grow out as long as it used to be. I'm sure that could affect the hardness of the hide. I don't know. You're a cow guy, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, I think like heat, global warming, all these things could affect cow hide. As the cowhide expert.
In 2015, studies found that the balls in the second half of the season were a half gram lighter than the balls in the first half of the season. A half gram difference in the weight of the rubber inside the ball led to the highest second half increase in offense in MLB history. 2017, balls were juiced. 2018, balls were still juiced. 2019, the balls were fucking really juiced. 2020 was a shortened season, but the balls were flying too then. MLB comes out and says, we got to admit it, these balls are flying like crazy. we are doing a concerted effort to make the balls go less far. And it worked. 2022, the balls were dead. April 22, 54% decrease in homers from 2019. Runs per game were as low as they had been since 1980. Now they're de-juiced again. Article in 1929. There is speculation that MLB balls were juiced in 1929. 9 years later, 1938, speculation that the balls were deadened in 1938. 1944, there was a speculation that they were juiced again. Fast forward 10 years, 1954, more speculations that the balls were juiced again. 1969, more speculation, the balls were dead. 1979, speculation that MLB juiced the balls again. 1987, more speculation that the balls were juiced again. And in 1994, a lot more speculation that the balls were juiced, but it wasn't just the balls, it was the players. But, so yeah, this is nothing new, dude. The balls are either dead or juiced. It's the nature of the ball, baby. I think Babe Ruth in 1918 led the league in home runs with 11 home runs. Led the league. He had 11 home runs. He's 23 years old. That was the most home runs in the league. Next year, 29 home runs. 2 years after that, 54 home runs. He led the league 3 years in a row. First year, he led the league with 11. 2 years later, he had 54. Do you think that he was just, eating too many hot dogs? It's the dead ball era, dude. This is documented. The balls became livelier. This is nothing new. But now that we have StatCast, that happens every year. Every single time a ball is hit, you know the exit velocity, you know the angle that it's hit at. So if a ball is hit at the same exit velocity, at the same angle, at the same park, but one goes way further than the other one, you could assume that if that happens a bunch of times, that one ball is dead and one is juiced. That's what you would call drag on a baseball. This year's drag is the most drag since you were able to track it, which was 2015. So these balls might actually be more dead than they were in 2022, which is concerning because that was a big deal. However, the offensive league-wide numbers are basically identical this year than they were in 2023, which to be honest isn't saying much because offense was actually down a lot last year. Either way, compared to 2023, all offensive numbers are down. Compared to the juice balls of 2017 and 2019, they're down a lot. The question is whether they're doing it on purpose or not. I don't think they're doing it on purpose. One small change makes such a big difference. That's why MLB bought Rawlings, is to fix that. They also put humidors in each stadium. That was another thing to try to even out all the layers, but it's like a never-ending quest to make two baseballs identical, and it's impossible to do it. We still haven't figured it out.